You guys can go ahead and fire away.
Hey, Malik, this is Ken Spencer with WHAS 11. Just a quick question. Why go back to Malik, and did it have anything to do with the fact that Scott Satterfield never referred to you as McHale?
No, I had nothing to do with that. I just feel more comfortable with people calling me Malik, and I mean, that's why I just want to go by. There's no specific reason.
Like Malik Brown from Go ahead, Jody.
Malik, hey, it's Jody Demling with CardinalAuthority.com. Coach said yesterday that, after watching the film, he felt there was quite a few mistakes all over the place, obviously on Saturday night. And he kind of said average for your game. How would you assess your play, and what do you need to clean up from the other night?
It just goes back to just fundamentals. They kind of got away from me in the other game, like with the touchdown. To end, I made that play. We run that play almost every day, and I hit it all the time. And just looked like a lack of focus. I kind of short-armed it, and then interception. I pulled through that ball away. Just things like that. Those two boneheaded plays that I could remember.
Russ Brown from Kentucky Today, Malik. When you are when you're in film sessions with the coaches and so forth, and they're pointing out, is it with the quarterback coach? Is it with the offensive coordinator? With Coach Satterfield? All three at the same time, or how does that work?
No, it's just Coach Punts. Coach Sat come in every now and then, peek his head in there and talk ball with us every now and then. But most of the time, it's Coach Punts and Coach Fitz.
Malik, when you guys watch the film back to Miami, you guys obviously were 0-6 in the first half on third down. Was there a common denominator with those third down plays, or was just maybe something here, something there?
Yeah, I would say it was something here, something there. I mean, some plays we were trying for a field position, so it's kind of hard to say if we should have passed the ball or not. Sometimes we were just trying to get the punter, help defense out, and just try to flip the field. So, some of those plays were design runs, and some of them were pass, and we just normally execute those in the first half from y'all standpoint. And it's not really like us to go 0-6 in the first half on third downs. We just got to be better. If you are running the ball or pass, it doesn't matter. We just got to be better on third downs in order to win games.
What have you seen out of the Pitt? Oh, go ahead again. Go ahead, Jody.
Say it again.
Jody again. How disappointing was the other night for you guys, and how have the guys responded on the practice field?
Well, for me, it was very disappointing. Being the leader of the team and the quarterback, that game's gonna hunt me for the rest of my life, and that play will hunt me for the rest of my life. But we just gotta move on. Those guys outplayed us. You gotta get your hats off to those guys and the way they were prepared. They played a good game. They didn't have any turnovers, and you see what happened when you make turnovers and you don't make turnovers. You lose a game, you turn the ball over. So they didn't do that, which we did. We just got to learn from those mistakes and move on. That game's behind us. We just got to move on to Pitt.
What have you seen out of the Pitt defense?
Say it one more time.
What have you seen out of the Pitt defense?
They're very physical. I would say they got some very hard hitters. They're very run heavy. They like to run to the ball. They're good straight tacklers. And in the secondary, they're pretty good, led by number 12 and number 3. Number 12 is he'll hit you if you don't got your head on the swivel. He's a good kid. And that duo at safety, they've been playing together for a long time. So you got to give credit to those guys. They got a lot of experience. So we got to come with our A game week in and week out in order to get a good road win.
Hey, Malik, Michael McCammon from Cardinal Authority. Miami was able to get some pressure on you, and obviously that's something that Pitt typically brings. What can you do, I guess, to try to limit the sacks and the quarterback hurries that they could potentially bring?
Say it again. You said Miami?
Yeah, well, Miami brought obviously a lot of pressure and had some sacks and quarterback hurries, and that's obviously a strength of Pitt's game as well. So what can you take from the Miami game and going forward into this weekend to try to avoid those situations?
I would say, because Miami, I think I got sacked 1 or 2 times, but I would say, every quarterback would say, if you bring your pressure, you got to get the ball out fast and just know where to go with the ball. And this is what I got to do to win the game on Saturday, just get the ball out fast because we know they're going to bring pressure.
Malik, this is Cameron from the Courier Journal. You mentioned obviously you getting sacked. I think you got sacked 3 times, but even when you guys ran the ball, I mean, Hawk only got tackled in the backfield once. I think Stein only got tackled in the backfield twice. Just from your perspective, what has been your review of the offensive line so far against 2 pretty good defensive lines?
I tell those guys each and every day how much I appreciate them. I mean, the job they put in and Coach Led and Pete, what they do with the O-line, I mean, those guys they've been doing a really good job the whole summer, and then you can see it pay off with the running game. I mean, those sacks are not always on the O-line. It could be my fault or like things like that. I always take the blame for stuff like that. But from my perspective, O-line's been doing a great job in protecting me and making holes for Hawk and her son. So I feel like they've been doing a good job. Say it again.
Specifically in the Miami game, they got some talented D linemen. How did you feel like if you either watching back film or even in the game, your offensive line held up against guys that talented?
Yeah, I mean, they got good talented D linemen, but I like my O-line against any D line in the country, no matter if they have good pass rushes. I mean, those guys in Miami were really good up front, but I feel like we handled those guys well. Boone and with O-line, they handled them well.
Malik, Russ Brown again. What are your thoughts on the first road game, and also the fact that there's not going to be anybody in the stands at Pittsburgh? You played 2 home games. What are your thoughts on the first road game?
We're looking forward to going on the road for the first home game. Looking to try to still win. We're still a hostile environment to us because we're going on the road, and we just got to execute and learn from the mistakes that we made and try to limit those things and just stay focused throughout the whole game, like throughout preparation, and just see where it goes from there.
Malik, one of the things that you think, this is Kent with WHAS 11. One of the things you guys talked about in the offseason was taking that next step with the passing game. Do you feel like you guys have done that through the first 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've done a good job in the passing game. I mean, besides the 2 turnovers, bonehead turnovers by me. But I feel like, we're doing a good job in the passing game. I mean, guys are getting open, they're making contested catches, and they're catching the ball and making plays with after the catch, which is really good to see. And I feel like we've been doing a pretty good job in the passing game.
Take a couple more.
Malik, Russ again. Is there? I don't know. How do you feel? You threw for 300 and some odd yards. The offense got 500 and some odd yards. Is there a feeling? What else do I have to do, or how do you deal with that kind of situation?
I mean, if you look at the game, we had a good game on the offensive side, but people don't see that type of stuff. They see the turnover, the pick that I had, and the interception, which is bad play by me. And I feel like if I make those plays and limit those mistakes, I could have threw for more yards than that, and the offense could have had more, just things like that. So I take full responsibility for those plays from the offensive side. And as a team, we just got to dial in better on both sides of the ball. We both had bonehead mistakes, so it's no individuals who did bad. I mean, it's all on us as a team.
All right, one more.
Yeah, Malik, kind of off that. I mean, you guys went an entire half without a third down conversion. Like you said, not like you guys. You still had 500 yards, still had 34 points. Does that just speak to the potential of this offense when you get everything clicking and everybody's on the same page? Yeah, that just goes to show you like how explosive that we can be. I mean, in the first half, things weren't going our way, and so we got in the halftime, and I rallied all the guys up and said, we just got to go out there and help defense make plays, because it's not like us not scoring in the first half. And we came out on fire in the second half, scoring 2 drives back to back. I mean, that just goes to show you how powerful this offense is. And then if we get things clicking early, it's going to be really, 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 really hard for teams to stop us. We just got to get going.
All right, Malik, we appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. See y'all.
Malik, your helmet.
Be a little small for me right now.
All right, we'll go ahead and get things rolling with Louisville offensive coordinator Dwyane Ledford. You guys are good to go.
Hey, Dwyane, Cameron from the Curry Journal. When you look at the beginning of the season for your offensive line, I mean, you get a talented Western Kentucky defensive line, probably a little bit better Miami defensive line, and then a really talented Pitt defensive line. Do you like these guys being tested so early, or would you rather those tests come later in the season when you kind of figure some things out?
No, I like it. I think it forces these guys to really see right away, are their fundamentals where they need to be? Are they where they need to be as far as alignment, assignment, technique, execution? So I love it. I think it's really good. And, I like the way that, and I told the guys today, I like that, I was like, looking back last year to where we were at the beginning of the season or at any point, I think the guys up front are straining. I think they're playing physical. I liked how they've came out this season and have worked. I think that they cleaned up some issues that we had in the first game. But I really like it. I like being tested early out of the gate. So those guys, right now what you got to get better at, right now what you got to work on, and those guys get to see it.
And then I guess a follow up to that, Dwyane, how do you feel like the offensive line has done in their first two real good tests this season?
I thought they did a really good job. I was very pleased with what they did on Saturday. Obviously, there's still stuff that we have to clean up. But as far as the way they came out and prepared during the week of practice and playing a really physical defensive front of Miami, and I thought it was a good physical game up front, and I liked the way the guys played, and I've been very pleased with the way they played from an effort standpoint and just some of the things that they're doing up front right now.
Hey, Dwyane, Michael McCammon from Cardinal Authority. When you look at the Pittsburgh defense, especially the defensive front, what do you see from them, and what does the offensive line expect from the Panthers on Saturday?
Well, I spent a pretty good amount of time in our meetings today, just making sure the guys understood that, like you guys understand when I'm telling you guys things. I hope you guys am I just trying to do coaching talk back here? Or you guys really believe in what I'm saying? Because what I'm about to tell you about this defense, they're really, really good. And, and I kind of just talked to him about the history of that program of Pitt. It's a like that team prides themselves on playing sound, physical defense. And I was like, you guys are going to get tested. And obviously they've done that. And this is a defensive front from the back end all the way up to the front end that's very talented. They're physical. They got great size. And year in and year out, they're a great defense. And then I told our guys out today, this is a big time test for them. Huge.
Coach, where do you think that you obviously are going beyond Narduzzi's reign? Where do you think that physicalness and the emphasis on defense comes from?
Well, I think of Pittsburgh. I mean, it's nicknamed the Steel City. Prides itself on like just that lunch pail type mentality, blue collar, hard working. And I think because I grew up a Pittsburgh Steelers fan as a kid, and I always enjoyed watching their defense, and just seeing Kevin Green, Greg Lloyd, and some of those guys on the defensive side. And like the Pittsburgh Steelers, when I was growing up, you heard about the defense, and just being a tough defense, got after you. And I was like, you look at Pitt, and it's the same thing. It's just it's a hand in the, and they just go to work. These guys, they strain. They're very well coached. And like the defensive line, they're extremely well coached with their hands. They got good size, but you can just tell from the effort of the kids and how hard they play that, that, that's from the top going all the way through that program, and just what they want as their identity as a team. And I think that those kids, they embrace that, and they've been playing great defense there for a really long time.
One quick follow, and I'm not sure about this, but does that take in your knowledge? Does that take in the Steel Curtain group?
Oh yeah. Remember all those days, man, growing up as a kid. And so, and I told the guys, I mean, that's a great thing about getting the opportunity to go up there and play Pitt, is you know the defense that you're going to go against, and then you're getting to play there at Heinz Field. I hope that it's still called Heinz Field. That's what I remember it as, but being right there where the Steelers play as well.
Dwyane, this is Ken Spencer with WHAS 11. You know, kind of entering this season, some of the talk is the passing game being able to take that next step. Through the first 2 weeks, have you been able to see the kind of progress that you guys wanted to see?
I think so. I think you see Malik has been very comfortable. His decision making and just his comfort in the pocket, I think that improved throughout the season last year, and I think that it's really good this year. I think that he's making really good decisions back there, and you know, he has a good presence about him in the pocket, and is knowing when to step in. And you know, it's not where it's something to where he's looking to immediately run out of the pocket, but he's going through his progression, making his reads, and obviously we got a very talented wide receiver group that is making a lot of contested catches, and they can be an issue to cover with Tutu and Dez and Justin. I mean, I've been very pleased with it.
Dwyane, hey, it's Jody from Cardinal Authority. You mentioned Heinz Field, and normally a pretty raucous environment no matter when you go there, but there won't be any fans this week. How different does that make it? Or, I mean, Scott said you guys have addressed it a little bit with the guys. What have you told the guys, and how do you prepare for no fans?
You know, I think like everybody, every stadium we go to is going to have a little bit of crowd noise coming through the speakers, and so there'll be a little bit of noise out there. But it's something I think the guys have kind of they've accepted. They obviously I mean, that's part of being able to play college football, or football at any point, is being able to have those fans and feeding off that energy. And even when you're on the road and you're that visiting team, and you know, just the challenges of it, but also it just brings a lot of energy to that game. But our kids have been very mature about it. They understand what it's going to be like. And, you know, I've been very impressed with just their kind of approach to this season from a long time ago. And, you know, and not letting like some of the little things like rattle them. And they've been very mature and been very good about it. So they know what it's going to be like. And I think that they'll be fine with it. I really do, just because of how they kind of been throughout this whole process.
Hey, Dwyane, Cameron again. You guys gave up 10 tackles for a loss, but it really didn't seem like that in the grand scheme of things. I think Hawk got tackled once in the backfield for like a loss of 1. Hassan got tackled in the backfield only twice. You see your group taking a step forward in terms of cutting that number of tackles for loss down?
Yeah, I do, Cam. And you know, the thing that I really, you hear this all the time, is what type of, what do you look like from week 1 to week 2? And to me, I saw a lot of the things that we needed to improve on in week 2 against a great defense, a very talented defense. That defensive line is obviously very talented, very good. And so it was good to see what I know I wanted to see as far as some improvements. But I think that we have taken those steps and are doing a good job of eliminating something that we said that, you know, we need to be better at this season. And I think it goes back with these kids and just how their approach of the game and how they're practicing. Like, we're practicing better now, I think, than we had at any point last season. And that's a lot of maturity on those guys, but just understanding, it's not just showing up on Saturdays, putting the work in and day out. And they've done a great job of that. We went out there today and had a great practice. And so, and coming from a game like you played against Miami, that was very encouraging and great to see from these guys.
Couple more if we got them.
Coach, this is Matt McGavick with Sports Illustrated. Obviously, Pitt has one of the more complete defenses in all of the ACC. They've got a pair of good defensive tackles. They've got safety pairs forward. When starting your game plan against a team like that, where do you even start as it pertains to trying to find a weakness?
Yeah, well, it's difficult because you're watching the whole thing. Obviously, as you go through it, you're looking at, just how they're going to be playing the run fits, what they're trying to take away. But at the same time, you're taking a look at what they're doing on the outside with their corners, with their safeties. And what they do schematically is very good. Their kids know it really well. It's a lot of upperclassmen, a lot of seniors, a lot of redshirt seniors and juniors on that defense. And obviously they've been in that system for a while, and they fly around. They know it well, and they play to it extremely well. And so it's going to be a huge challenge for us to go up there and play these guys, because they're going to be where they're supposed to be. They understand it really well. And what they do defensively, that those guys are flying around. And, they had, you start getting into, more of your situations, like some of your third downs, your red zones and things of that nature, and just kind of taking a look and see how they get after the quarterback. And not only just from the standpoint of just individual pass rushers, but just what they do schematically and designing some of their blitzes and their packages and how they're getting to him to disrupt some of the timing of your passes. And they do a really good job. And so when you look at this, I mean, they're good at all levels. The back end, the linebackers, they're playing downhill. They can run, and their defensive line as a whole is extremely, extremely talented. Both of the defensive ends being over 6'5", over 260 pounds, 270, and really big and thick on the inside, very strong on the inside as well, but also with the ability to get your edge and pass rush. And so,
all right, one more, please.
Dwyane, I know you.
Go ahead, Cameron.
No, you good. Go ahead, Matt.
After having to deal with WK's D'Angelo Malone's and UM's Quincy Roche and Jalen Phillips, do you think you have a slight advantage going into this game trying to face against Patrick Jones II and Rashad Weaver?
Well, Cam asked that question earlier about, do you like being tested early on? And obviously getting tested out of the gate is, I think it's really good for the guys in the group because they know what it's going to be like. They know the speed of the game, especially some of these guys that haven't gotten a lot of reps yet, a lot of game reps. And, it's every week it's like this in this conference and with the defensive lines that you play against. And, and all the guys are a little bit different. Like these guys from Pitt, extremely long, really strong. They're strong at the point of attack, very well coached with their hands. And so, it's great getting to play all this competition early on, getting those guys tested extremely early in the season. And you hope that does help out as the season goes along and they're facing these guys early in the season like this to get them ready for other teams and other D-lines that you're going to play against.
Cameron, get yours in. Wrap us up.
Dwyane, I know you knew what Makai could do at the next level, but I was talking to a scout earlier today for a different story, and he brought up Makai and said he thinks Makai has probably been one of the best rookies in the NFL right now. To see the success he's having and see so much blow up with him on social media, just what has that been like for you?
It makes me smile, man. It makes me laugh. I got chill bumps on my arms right now just thinking about it on the back of my neck. Kid's special, and it's great seeing him early on, just the way he's going out there and playing. Haven't had a lot of chance. What I'm doing is I'm making cut-ups of Makai as we speak now, as we're going through the season to watch a lot of his plays and how he's playing and stuff, and plan on trying to reach out to him later on this week or next week and just checking in with him. But it's just great to see him because what you see is like I saw one play where they're running behind him, and I saw that pure emotion that he has of just saying run it behind, just the energy, the excitement. He just loves doing what he's doing, man. And I told scouts all, I was like, he's a monster on that field, man, and just a special kid. And it's great to see the success that he's having out there, and how well he is playing.
All right, Coach, we'll wrap up on that. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Guys, take care.
All right, thanks, everybody.